Hi everyone, welcome to Serenity in Stitches. My name is Christina and I'm happy to be here with you today. It is a rainy day here in the Portland metro area of Oregon. We had a couple of sunny days a couple weeks ago, and I was so excited. I pulled out all my spring and summer yarn and started planning what tank tops I wanted to knit. And that went away after a couple days, and now I'm reminded that we're in spring. It's going to take a little time here in Oregon, but that's okay. I have plenty to work on. I'm a weather knitter, so when it's sunny outside, I'm, crave knitting tank tops and tees or, little things. And then when it gets rainy and cold outside, I want to knit blankets and cardigans, and crochet as well. Crochet, knit. Sometimes I say knit and I mean knit or crochet, but I do both. So today I wanted to just go over a few things that I've been working on, and I have my little show notes here, so in case I forget anything. The first thing I want to start with is I did my first test knit for J Hook Crochet, and she does YouTube videos as well. And if you're a crocheter, you've probably seen her on Sunday's Yarniversity. And I thought a beanie would be a great way to start out doing a test knit. It's a small item. I can get it done in a week, and it wouldn't be, much pressure, and it was perfect. So the beanie that I knit, I knit it. It asked for DK weight yarn, and I knit it with the Etrofil Cashmere. I think I have a full skein here. Yeah, I can show you this one. Whoop, there goes some yarn. Anyway, so I use this Etrofil Cashmere, which I'm not sure if you've heard of that or not. I purchased this at Hobbii probably about a year ago, and it is named Cashmere. It's 100% microfiber cashmere is what the label says. And it's very soft. It's very soft and squishy, and it's the perfect yarn to make a beanie with. Here is the beanie. I had 4 grams left from a 100 gram skein here. And the beanie, I'll show it to you, not folded at first, but it's got this lovely ribbing type pattern on it. And let's see here. Fold it up so I can show it to you. So I was emailing with Reggie, and I did get permission to share this. This beanie is going to be in her April Yarn Club, and here you can see it with the brim folded up. It's a very nice squishy beanie. I was actually making this for my husband, and my daughter saw me knitting it. It is a knit pattern, and I believe she also is going to have it in a crochet pattern as well. But my daughter saw this and she said, that's the kind of beanie I would wear. I like the, tan brown colors. And I said, okay, it's yours. So yeah, it's already spoken for. Reggie advised me that it's going to be in her April Yarn Club. In about a month, she's going to release the pattern for individual sales. And it's going to be on her Etsy shop. And right now she has 20% off of everything in her Etsy shop. So you could still purchase the April Yarn Club at a discount, at a 20% discount. But I will definitely put a link to Reggie's Etsy shop so you can take a look at it. And yeah, that's my finished object for this episode. Let's see, there we go. Next thing on my list are my whips. And I was so excited. I was watching Creative Grandma on YouTube, and she's a crocheter, and she participates, I guess, annually in Project Linus. And I think she's in the Pennsylvania area. And Project Linus it takes blankets and also supplies to make blankets, knitting needles, yarn, crochet hooks, etc. Also quilting items, squares, etc. And they have a day or two where they bring the makers in to actually make additional blankets for needy children. Or actually, it's children that have been involved in some kind of trauma, possibly removed from their parents or from the home. Maybe they're ill, and so it's blankets that for children that are ill or who have been involved in some kind of trauma. And I was so excited to hear about this because I actually have been making beanies with some Lion Brand, the Mandala yarn, which Mandala is at Watercolors. So it's a chunky, squishy. I started making beanies with some of the yarn that I got in a Santa sack this last December, hoping that I would find a place to send them to in Ukraine. And I haven't been able to find a place. I did email with a representative of an organization that where they work to send supplies, etc., to Ukraine, but they're accepting financial donations because that's the easiest. And she said a lot of the routes have been wiped out or are not safe for deliveries, and so, which makes sense given that they're in a war. So she said probably the best thing is financial donations, which I certainly understand that makes sense. But anyway, I have these beanies, and so I was working on those, and I was thinking, well, okay, I'll just give these beanies. They're like the purple grape color of the Mandala watercolor. Do I have them in here? I do. Hold on a second. I forgot about these, and these would count as additional finished objects. So I went to Bag a Day's YouTube channel and her Etsy shop, and I started looking for beanies that I could knit up in mind of maybe making beanies that would fit women and children. And so I used a couple of her patterns, and actually I'm not sure if I actually made I might have. I'll have to take a look and see. And if it's a specific pattern I used, I'll put the description here. But here's one of the beanies that I made. And again, this yarn is Lion Brand Mandala Watercolors, and it's in grape or icy grape, I believe. And so I started out with double crochets. Actually, it's double crochet all the way down, and then here, just for some visual interest, trebles, front loop and back loop, front post and back post treble. For you crocheters, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I made with 2 skeins. I made one beanie, 2 beanies that fit me, so they would probably fit a woman. And then I made 2 smaller beanies for children. And I just looked up on the website, children's sizes for how the circumference of a child's head, or I look at patterns that are for children, and I'll see if there's dimensions that they're using, for patterns to give myself an idea, since I don't have small children anymore. My children are all adults, and yeah, so I made 4 beanies, and so I have 1 more skein left, and I think I can make 2 more beanies. And if they were blue, I'd send them to Hat Not Hate. I almost said Hat for Hate. No, Hat Not Hate. But I will find a place to donate these to. Another thing I was thinking about doing is contacting our local crisis center for battered people. I'm sure there's a better term for that. But I can imagine there's probably a lot of women and children that may be able to use these. And then I thought, well, maybe I could connect and find a place that I could routinely or regularly knit and crochet to send items for women and children, or men, or whatever the case may be, because I have been looking for just that, a place where I can do some charity knitting and crocheting for. So okay, so I have those beanies, and I feel like I've totally lost track of what I was talking about. Okay, so the finished object, finished the beanies. have been wanting to knit and crochet, do some charity work. And so when I saw Creative Grandma, I'm back on track now. When I saw Creative Grandma, her video talking about Project Linus and being able to make blankets for children, I was really excited, and I said, I'm definitely going to help you out. And I decided to Google Project Linus because I was wondering if there were specific dimensions that they were looking for the blankets. And I found out that Portland, Oregon has a chapter. And so I contacted them, and the chapter that we have is for Portland, Vancouver areas, including Washington County, the county that I live in. And I found out when they meet to sort and send out, you know, the blankets that they receive. They're also having a knit along this month, Project Linus, and I'm trying to remember if the knit along was just for our chapter. I think it is. I believe it sounds like, I have a lot of questions still. I did get some preliminary information, and I'm going to follow up with another email to the person, to my contact, and see if they accept any blanket donations. Do they have to be from the specifications in this knit along that was posted? And it's knit and crochet items, so crochet along as well. Does the crochet along go for the whole year and people just send in blankets, you know, as they make them? I'm not sure. But I'm excited to get involved locally with Project Linus. So thank you, Creative Grandma, for giving me that idea. And I'm thinking, since I heard about it through Creative Grandma, I would send in a blanket, you know, to help with her efforts. At least send, you know, 1 or 2 blankets to help their efforts. So, excuse me, let me grab a drink of water. Okay, so the blankets I'm making. The first one, and this is all yarn from my stash, I just decided to do a real simple crochet blanket. And this is holding 1 strand of Hobbii Amigo, which is a DK acrylic yarn, and 1 strand of Lion Brand Baby Soft, or Soft Baby Soft, I believe it is. So it's a marled pink and white blanket, and it's just double crochet and chain 1, skip 1 throughout. And I actually followed the pattern by Allison Russell Crochet. She does some great videos. It sounds like she might live in, I don't even know where, but she has this lovely accent that I really like listening to. So check out Allison Russell. I'll put a link in the description for her channel, but she does videos on different crochet blankets, different crochet stitches, and I really like her stuff. And so anyway, so that's one that I'm doing. And I'm using 1 skein of the Lion Brand Baby Soft and 2 skeins of the Amigo to make a baby blanket. And then the other one I'm working on is, and I just kind of winged this one, is a colorful stripes blanket. Let's see here, get my hair out of the way. So I started with this white, and I wanted this to be more of a blanket for a boy, and so I started with blue. Was doing some half double crochet. This stitch here in the blue is the blanket stitch, and then double crochet, half double crochet. Then we have the, oh my goodness, I can't remember what the yellow one is. So, but it's beautiful. I'll put a note here in the video. And then I've got the hot pink, and this I'm using the Suzette stitch, where you single crochet, double crochet. And if you look on the edge, you can see how this mystery yellow section has pulled in quite a bit, and I didn't notice that when I was crocheting it. So, you know, I was thinking, well, if I block it and put a border, would it be okay? But I don't want someone to throw it in the washing machine and dryer, because it is all acrylic yarn, and then this happened to it. So I think what I'm going to do is just do 1 row of this stitch and then just seam it on, on each end because both ends curve in like that. And so I'll have to pay more attention as I move forward and, you know, make different blankets. It just didn't even dawn on me that I don't know what I was thinking. But the yarns I'm using is Amigo XL from Hobbii in this bright pink, and I love this pink color. It's got kind of a tinge of blue, so it gives this iridescent look. The white is Lion Brand Pound of Love. The yellow is Karen Simply Soft. So lots of things from my, lots of yarns from my stash. Then the blue, I believe it is Lion Brand, no, Red Heart Super Saver, the blue. I have a big box of Red Heart Super Saver yarns that my husband got me these huge bags of yarn at a resale shop. And so I have a bunch of that. And one of the things I want to do for charity is crochet some blankets, or, you know, just for animal shelters. So the little cages that they keep the dogs and the cats in. I think that Red Heart Super Saver would be perfect for some little blankets. I did call because, like I said, I've been thinking about where can I do some charity knitting and crocheting. So I did call recently the local animal shelter, and their recording states that they have moved all of their pets to partners, and they're not doing any pet adoptions currently. So I don't think it doesn't sound like they have a need for them. So this was a recording, so I might just have to call them back and find out who are your partners. Maybe I could connect with them. So yeah. And if you happen to be in the Portland metro area and you have some ideas on where I could do some knitting and crochet charity work, certainly let me know, because that's been really on my mind lately. And I think it's because of what's going on in Ukraine and seeing the need of the, you know, refugees, that it's just terrible. It's just terrible. It just makes me want to do something, you know, financial. What can I do to make something that's going to make somebody's day a little brighter, etc. So, okay, so that's my project, Linus blankets. I also have some Amigo yarn to make a blue and white, kind of an off-white blanket, a couple different shades of blue. And so I'll make sure I make a blanket specifically for a boy for my next one. So let's see, my next item here. Oh, my Misurina. So this is a knitted top by Caitlin Hunter. And when I found Caitlin Hunter, I ended up purchasing 2 or 3 of her patterns, and I haven't finished one yet. There's not because there's anything wrong with the patterns. I just get kind of, I don't know. I just love to go from one project to the next, even though I'm trying to concentrate on 1 or 2 projects at a time so I can actually get things done. But anyway, so when I was going through my whips for Finish It February, I saw the Misurina that I was making, and I can't remember if I showed this to you all or not, but picture of the Misurina I'm putting here in the video, and then here's what I have completed so far. So here is the neck, and then here's the yoke. So that's what I've got so far. It's starting to, the pattern's starting to take a little shape, which is really exciting. And it's such a fun knit. And this has color work in it. It also has some cabling, which is probably the easiest right here, the easiest cabling you can do. And you can see my floats. I'm very proud of all that I'm doing with this wonderful color work. The colors I'm using is, this gray is a Cloudborn Superwash Merino fingering. And then the colorful yarn that I'm using is Hawthorn fingering by Knit Picks in the color Lents. And this has navy, blue and gray and little bits of like a lavender purple color. And so together they're really making a beautiful top. So I'm really excited about that. When I get going on it, I'm just, you know, it's it's fun. It's addicting. I could see how people get addicted to color work. So yeah, I'm excited about that. The Misurina, I'm knitting the body with a US 4 and then the color work with a US 6. The pattern recommends a US 4 needle, but I've gone up 2 hook sizes after checking my gauge and just my little bit of experience I have doing color work. So going up 2 needle sizes, I feel like is perfect. And then I'm doing the US 4 for the parts of the project that aren't requiring color work. And I even used the US 4 on the beginning ribbing here that's around the collar, the neck, because I like a loose collar, like this t-shirt here. Nice and loose. I've got lots of room to breathe. So yeah, that's my Misurina, and I love it. I think it's going to be, I'm excited. I'm really excited for that one. Let's see, my next project that I'm working on, and I just started this project. It's a poncho for my mom. She is celebrating her birthday May 16th. And she asked for, or had mentioned that because I wanted to make her something, and she had mentioned she would love to have a black poncho that she could wear, you know, something to throw on. She lives in San Diego, so the weather is beautiful a lot of the times, and sometimes she just needs a light little something to throw on. I started this wrap that is by Expression Fiber, and I liked how it looked. I liked the yarn, and so I decided to, instead of go any further with this wrap, to start a poncho for my mother. And let's see, so I didn't really find a pattern, and this is crochet. I didn't really find a pattern that I was interested in using, so I looked at a few videos and Googled a few ponchos to see how they begin their ponchos, and doing 4 corners. Let's see if you can see here. Basically it's a square. I know it's kind of hard to see, but and then you start building on that square. And so that's where I'm at with that. The yarn I'm using is Drops Bell, and this is in black, and it is, let me see, I believe it's just a linen and cotton blend. Very affordable yarn. Let's see, yarn group B, whatever that means. Content 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. And I really like how it drapes, and I like, yeah, I like lots of things about this. And I have some black, and I also have some ecru color, and I was thinking about doing like a summer sweater, but I'll have to order some more black since I'm doing the poncho in this yarn here. So that's what I'm working on. Let's see, crochet hook. Which hook was I using? I think it was, did I write it down here? Let's see. J hook. Drops Bell and a J hook. So that's the hook I'm using for the crochet poncho. Let's see, the next thing, moving on. I've really been thinking about springtime knitting and wanting to do a transitional piece. And so I found DESCHAIN, DESCHAIN, and I'll insert a picture here. That is a pattern that's a boxy pullover with, I believe it's 3/4 sleeves, and I think it's made with some kind of a summer yarn. I can't remember it. I didn't print anything out, but I am using Cloudborn Pima Cotton, and that's a DK weight yarn. And DESCHAIN I'm knitting it with a 10.5 millimeter needles, and it is written to work flat. You do the front side, and then you do the back side, and then you seam them together. And I had the bright idea of knitting it in the round, because if I have a choice of knitting and purling, I'm always going to choose knitting. I'm just such a faster knitter, and I know a lot of people are like that. So Anyway, so I decided, okay, I'm going to take the pattern because it's a fairly straightforward pattern. It is a pattern for purchase. And I basically took bits of the pattern and rearranged it. I actually cut and pasted on a separate sheet of paper, you know, the front and the back, just so I could just go along, because I was flipping back and forth to, you know, the front and the back, and a lot of it's the same, but it was just too cumbersome. I just kept getting confused and lost in, okay, what page am I on now? So here is what I have so far. Not a whole lot. It's the sweater, you start from the top and work your way down. So I started knitting in the round, thinking, okay, I'll start at the top and work my way down. Well, it has sleeves. So if I start knitting straight down, am I going to cut it to open it up for the sleeves? I don't know what I was thinking. So what I have so far, at least I'm not too far along. I'm going to need to restart it and or take a close look at the how it's put together, because perhaps I do a little bit of in the round and then I do some flat to the bottom of the sleeves, and then I do in the round again. So that's what I'm hoping. I haven't actually pulled it out yet. But yeah, that's where I'm at with my DESCHAIN. Lovely pattern. And the cotton I'm using, Cloudborn Pima Cotton. Okay, so it's Cloudborn Pima Cotton, and the color is Slate, which is this beautiful blue, like a, yeah, silvery blue. Let's see. That's a good representation right there, I think. And the cotton is really soft. I used the Cloudborn Pima Cotton to make this shawl, and so it's nice that I can take a look at it and see how the material acts after I wash it and block it, because I did do a swatch for DESCHAIN, but I didn't block it. So, but knowing the yarn, I guess it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So anyway, I know the yarn, I know it's going to be soft. And this wrap is another pattern by Expression Fiber Arts. It was a free pattern. I was just looking for something summery to do. And I did use a little bit of Lion Brand Kobu in this blue, but the rest of it is that Pima Cotton. So yes. Okay, where are we at now? Let me jump back. I have another blanket that I'm crocheting for Project Linus. I had started a blanket made up of squares. I started this probably a year and a half ago, maybe, and I've got this beautiful plum color, which the yarn is Hobbii Amigo. So this is a beautiful plum color, a nice dusty pink. And then on this one, I did the plum with some charcoal colored yarn. And I was going to make a stadium blanket, is what it's called. And again, I'll put a picture. And so I had started making all of these squares. I got quite a few done, and I just never finished the project. So what I'm going to do is pull out all my squares, see where I'm at as far as the size, and turn it into a kid-size blanket. Which going back to Project Linus, the dimensions in the knit along that I purchased the information for on their website. I can't remember if I told you guys about that. I think I did. They're doing a knit along. I don't know how long it is. But the dimensions were something like 35 by 40. So I'll make it at least that, and yeah, go from there. So yeah, I've got one blanket almost done, another blanket almost done. Let's see. Oh, and the last thing, or the last thing on my whips list anyway, is the girlfriend's cardigan that I am making. And this one I started last fall. I set it aside to work on Christmas knitting, and then oh, my daughter's here with, Rocky, our oldest pup. So I'm going to take a break because she didn't know how to be quiet. I'm going to take a break and I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about that girlfriend's cardigan. Thanks, everyone. Okay, I'm back. My other daughter's on her way over with our other pup, and my husband's going to be home from the chiropractor soon, so I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes here. So I'm pulled out my girlfriend cardigan that I started this fall, and this pattern is by Anka Strick and two other friends of hers. They each created their own version of the same cardigan. I went ahead and purchased the pattern that provides all three patterns, and because I was I just love the style of this, and I'll put a picture in, and was so excited to, you know, see the different versions and kind of pick and choose. So here is the front top of it, and here's the front. It starts with a I-cord, and then you pick up and knit to the back, and you pick up and knit the front. It is garter stitch, so it's knit all rows, which I love. I think that's going to be my new thing, is knitting and garter stitch. I have now joined at the sleeves, and so I believe I've made some decreases, and now it's just knitting down to the optional pockets, which I am going to put pockets in this. The yarn I am using, and let's see, what did I knit this on? Girlfriend Cardi, I knit with a US 6. I can't remember if that's the recommended size or not. The yarns I'm using, so the yarn I'm using is Knit Picks Stroll Fingering Weight in Pearlescent. So there's one color, and I'm holding these strands double to get the gauge. And then Charlemont Valley Yarns, which is Superwash Merino, 20% Mulberry Silk, and 20% Polymide. And so this is the Valley yarn. So I put those two together to make this squishy garter stitch cardigan. So I'm excited about that. I'm really going to stick to this cardigan and get it done, even though it might be a little heavy for spring and summer. It'll be exciting to have it because it does still get cooler in the evenings. I recently purchased some yarn. I'll share with you real quick. I don't know if you've heard of Little Knits. Little Knits is a company in the United States. I believe they're stationed in Washington State. They have a lot of luxury yarns at discount prices. It's like going to a Ross, a Ross Dress for Less, or a TJ Maxx, but for yarn. And I learned about it on Crystal at Bag a Day. She loves this yarn store as well, and so I checked it out, and I've purchased quite a few different yarns that I ordinarily wouldn't purchase, but because it's such a great price. I was looking at the packing slip, and the Malabrigo yarn, I believe, was 30% off, if I remember right. But it didn't count on the one-of-a-kind bags of yarn, which I did get one of those. So I have to take a closer look at my packing slip here. But the yarns I got is Malabrigo Arroyo in the color Chris, K-R-I-S. And it is, I got two skeins here. And it is this beautiful teal color with the pops of pink. And let's see, is it darker? So we've got teal and a darker, like a navy, with pops of pinkish going through. It's just a lovely spring color. Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that lovely? Oh, so gorgeous. So I purchased two skeins, and they are 335 yards each of DK yarn. Now I did Google Chris, K-R-I-S, Arroyo, to see. I like to look at pictures online, see what the yarn actually looks like. And this actually looks quite a bit like the picture that was posted on Little Knits. I couldn't find the Chris color anywhere, and so it could be a discontinued color, I don't know, but I'll put it together with something to make something wonderful. Or maybe I'll have to go purchase another skein. I think that was, no, I don't know. The other yarn I purchased with, I just love this, is Malabrigo, because it was the Malabrigo sale, is Malabrigo Worsted, which is a worsted superwash merino. And, uh-oh, my daughter's yelling about something. I think she overflowed water. Oh, she was giving the dog water. She must have overflowed the bowl and it went on the floor, I'm imagining. Well, she'll have to handle it. So Malabrigo Worsted, which is a worsted, yards, 210 yards. And look at these gorgeous colors. It's got navy and green and this orangey, almost red. Oh, look, almost red color. I got 3 skeins. It was a bag of 3. And look at that green, that greenish yellow down here. Isn't that gorgeous? It reminds me of like Levi's or something, some kind of denim colors, and I don't know. But I have 3 skeins, 210 yards each. So I'm excited to see what I can do with that as well. Here comes the other daughter and the other pup. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and end the video since I've got starting to get a house full. But I love it. I got to tell you, it's so nice having all my children close to me. So I hope you all have a wonderful week or two, and I will hopefully see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.